Yo, we're live. It is, what is it, 30th December. We are live. Let me go in the comments here. We'll put the link out right there. Did a video today on alkylate fuel. Still waiting for the guy to pick it up. If he says, I said to him, it's 50 some odd degrees, beautiful day. He said, come get it. It still hasn't come. He'll probably text me while I'm doing the live stream. Anyway, we'll see if anybody shows up. We'll see. Right now, it's just me. Anyway, alkylate fuel, my last video, and check it out. You got to use the alkylate, especially in the winter. It's funny here. We had 50 some odd degrees today. Tomorrow, day after, it's still gonna be 20 degrees, so it's gonna be kind of crazy. David is here. Hello, David. Rick is here. Hello, Rick. Oh, Jeremy is here. Hello, Jeremy. Rick is here. Hello, Rick. We'll see who shows up. I put the link out, and we'll see how things are going. Yeah, not bad. No work, just small engine stuff. But I wanted to talk about my Milwaukee charger and battery. I think my charger is good, but I had a battery that it's a 9 amp hour battery, and it's sat for a few years, and a couple of cells are going, not dead, but they're low. So I watched some videos on YouTube how to recharge them, but I have to buy a lithium ion charger to do that, because right now it thinks the battery is fully charged, but it's not, and it won't take a charge and it doesn't work. So, it's an expensive battery. A 9 amp hour battery is like a $50 battery. So I want to get it, working. Mr. Harris, good afternoon to you as well. The seal, the Honda seal that I put in that Honda, that was not too bad. I think it was around $11 with shipping, something like that, $11, $12. I'd never done a top GCV 160 Honda seal before. Came out fairly easy. I literally, I tried a seal puller, and the metal in the seal is hardened. I tried putting a screw in it. I was going to pull the screw out. Wouldn't even attack it because the steel is like hardened. So basically, I put a teeny screwdriver, almost like a jeweler screwdriver, in the end and pried it. Came right up. It was fine. So we did that. Let's see. Welland, Ontario. Cool. Absolutely. You got snow up there? I'm assuming you got snow. We had snow until a couple of days ago. And today with these 50s, we had torrential rain. Like the past 2 or 3 days, tons of rain. So snow's gone. Today was in 50, 55 degrees. So the snow is absolutely gone, but it's going to be cold. And tomorrow, next day, it's going to be probably 20s, 30s. So we're going to hit the deep freeze again for a while. So that'll be interesting. I've got a few mowers to work on over the winter. But at this point, plans is to get a shed going in my backyard. Oh, there's Hank. Yo.
Hey, how you doing?
Now, my plan is to get my shed going in the backyard, but my daughter, I tapped into my shed fund to help my daughter out with her new car. So, we'll be all right. In a couple more months, we'll be fine. But kids first. Just got to help the kids. But anyway, what else is going on? Yeah, alkylate fuel. We did that. That backpack blower. You guys that have seen, I did a video on that Schroeder blower from Amazon. It's like a cheap Chinese backpack. Looks like it's made well, but no parts are available. If you go online, you could buy either the whole short block or the whole engine, but no parts are available. So the intake, for some reason, the 3 bonded ISO mounts that hold the backpack engine to the cradle fell off. So the engine just fell off the frame, landed on the ground, and shattered this intake, it shattered into like 10 pieces. So I crazy glued the intake pieces together, and I JB welded over that. So I got a video coming out hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to put it back on the engine, because the engine, when I squirted fuel in, it ran fine. So it's just that the intake in a million pieces, vacuum leaks. You're not going to, the intake's all in pieces. So I got to get that back together, try that. But Hank, thanks for earlier. I just, If yours is showing the same voltage as mine, anybody out there, I was talking to Hank this morning, if anybody has a Milwaukee rapid charger, the one I have has the 12-volt triangular on one side and the M18 on the other. And I thought maybe my charger was screwed up because this battery that I found, wasn't taking a charge. When I put the leads from my multimeter on the charger on the M18 side, what were we getting, Hank? 12.6 or something like that?
12.1, 12.6, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that the charger, it's a smart charger, since it has M12 and M18, it probably starts with 12, and then once you click the M18 battery in, it knows and goes to 18. But Hank has the same voltage as mine, so I'm assuming my charger is good. The problem is, on M18 batteries, they're known, if you haven't used them in a while, the cell packs will drain. Meaning, like in mine, there's 3 groups of cells together, and each one's supposed to have like 4.2 volts. I've got 2 of them that are like 2.9, and then one that's like 4. But you have to use a smart lithium ion charger. I'm being told from videos I've watched that if you don't use a lithium ion charger, you can blow them up. You actually blow the batteries up. So the lithium charger, I didn't know this, but lithium cells with a lithium smart charger will not overcharge. When the lithium charger is done, it will say full. So it knows from the battery what it needs to be max voltage. So I'm going to buy one of these chargers, and I'll put the link in the description later of the video I watched where the kid shows. I put it in the WhatsApp for us, Hank. I don't know if you saw it.
I did watch it.
Interesting. I never knew that about these batteries, and it glows green. I put it into the charger. It glows green, thinking it's good, but that's only because one of the 2 of the cells is max voltage. It thinks it's good, but I want to bring it back. It's a $50 battery.
Yeah, I thought lithium ion batteries aren't supposed to lose their charge.
These aren't. I don't think it's. Well, I don't know, because it may not have lost, but I haven't used it probably in 3.5 years. So it sat in a bag. I haven't used it. I used it for a random orbit sander, but when I took it out, I put it in my I have a handheld blower. It went and then shut off. It revved for like 3 seconds and shut off. Then when I hit the button, initially it had 2 lights on it. After it went and died, I hit the button, it blinked, the one button. Okay, it needs a charge. I stick it in the charger, it's glowing green, fully charged. I'm like, what the hell? That's when I went online and started looking at videos. So
I got a dozen batteries, 18s and 12s and all that, and they're out in the cold and everything, and I never have a problem with them.
Yeah, but like I said, this one I haven't used or even looked at it in 3-4 years. So, from that video the kid did, I'll try it. What the hell?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the video was good.
It was, yeah. It wasn't like rocket science or anything, and it made sense. But the point of the video too was get a lithium ion charger, because if you try hooking it, I saw another video and it concerned me, and I want to email the guy. He had a DC power supply, okay, and I guess if you know what the max voltage is supposed to be, you can dial that into a regulated DC power supply, so it'll never supply more than that. But they say a regular 12-volt charger, if you hook it up to lithium ion, it'll just blow it up. It'll overcook it and blow it up, because they're basically like big capacitors, right? They'll just overcharge and boom, But so I'm gonna look into that. But the charger that guy used in that video, it's not cheap. It's like $60 on Amazon. I've seen other ones, but I like the charger that kid used because it looked really user friendly on how it worked.
Yeah, because you can pick the cells you want to.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see. Well, Honda pulling out of power equipment, but they're still making engines. Yeah. What's this?
What I need you to explain to me is when you use a compression tester with a Schrader at the end of it and the one without the Schrader on the end of it.
Yep.
Because I think I'm getting conflicting.
All right. Here's the thing, and everyone who watched his video, that's fine. Okay, you've got a combustion chamber. A combustion chamber. Say, for example, the combustion chamber is 20 cc. Okay, when you have a compression, I don't care if the hose is 10 feet, 2 feet, 1 inch. If the Schrader valve is on the end that screws in instead of a spark plug, okay, you're not increasing the combustion chamber volume. So as you pull, now remember, with a longer hose, as long as the Schrader valve is where the spark plug's supposed to be, it'll keep shutting off, shutting off, shutting off, shutting off. So every time you pull it, it's giving you the compression for that chamber. Okay. If the hose didn't have a Schrader valve until the gauge, or say 10 inches up, then all that volume of the hose is acting like the combustion chamber. So instead of having a 20 cc combustion chamber, it's acting like a 33 cc chamber. So you'll have less compression.
Yes.
It's the same bore and stroke, but you've increased the amount that it's going into. But here's the thing, it's all about equilibrium. Okay. By having the check valve where the spark plug's supposed to be, yes, you may have to, pull it a few times. If the hose after the Schrader valve, on mine, it's about 10 inches because it's a hose connecting to another hose. Okay. I have to make up for that distance. So it's called equilibrium. The pressure on that side of the Schrader valve equals the pressure on this side. Once you get equilibrium, you'll see the gauge going like this. Once the gauge stops, it may take you 100 pulls, but once that gauge stops, that's why a lot of people, when they're doing those tests, they'll put a drill or something on the flywheel and brrr a few times so they don't go crazy.
Right.
But if like, for example, I have a Stens pressure tester and I have an automotive OTC tester. Okay. The Stens tester is only a 2-inch long hose. It's got the Schrader right at the end. So it only takes like 3 pulls and you get a good reading. When I hook up my other tester that's got 10 inches worth of hose, it does have the Schrader valve at the end, but it may take me 20 pulls before it equals out and stops. But it's the same reading.
The thing is, I pull it until I get on a big engine. I'll get 60 pounds, and I'm fine with that,
Yeah.
And on a smaller engine, if I get 125 pounds,
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Well, look at Erica. It was funny. She had that 024, 210 psi. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, and hopefully she'll come on later. Hold on a second. I'm wondering though, it looked like someone may have been into that engine, and I'm wondering because didn't it look like that piston was like a little score, like someone was scraping the top of it or something?
Yeah.
It almost looked like someone was in there. All I'm saying is a lot of guys, if they don't have money and want to get a little more performance, they do a base gasket delete in a chainsaw. They'll take the base gasket out, just put some 3-bond or something in there, and that'll increase or decrease the squish, which is what she was checking with the solder. Now, in most cases, you never want to go below 20 thousandths with your squish because there is a chance, if you carbon it and stuff, you'll bang, and you'll screw up and you'll bend the rod and all that. 20 is usually the max we ever go when we customize 2-stroke saws, and she was getting 19. I'm like, holy crap, that's pretty low. I'm just curious though if she even chimes in if that had the base gasket or if it was a base gasket because that would account for the low squish and extra, because usually stock saws are between 30 and 40 on squish, because they want to be safe. They don't want the thing banging and booming and all that. But that piston in that saw almost looked as if it was someone scraped the top of it a little bit, take some of the carbon off, Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. But like I said, with the compression tester, I mean, if I'm full of crap, someone tell me. But, in my engineering school, when I learned, it's all about equilibrium. You have a valve here and it shuts off either side. What it's called conservation of energy, like pressure equals pressure. If the pressure on this side of the valve is 10, keep pulling until the pressure on this side is 10. It's the same number.
It just goes to show you more education will give you the right facts than some other education,
I mean, but common sense though. I mean, if your valve is 3 inches higher up a hose, you got to calculate whatever volume's in the hose. But it's hard to calculate because no one knows the CCs of the combustion chamber of a saw or whatever they're working on. If it was a small block Chevy, easy. 57 cc combustion chamber, burette. I could do all that math because I used to race cars. But with chainsaws and stuff, you can still do it the same way. You could take a burette with like washer fluid, check the CCs of the chamber, and do the math. And you can see, that kind of stuff. So, and just like people saying too, oh, 8-1, 9-1, 10-1. Do people actually know what that means when it's compression ratio? Well, atmospheric pressure is what, 14.5? All right, atmospheric. People use 15 as a reference. You say 15 as a reference. Well, if it's 10-1 compression, you should be seeing 150 psi. If it's 8-1 compression, you should be seeing 120. Like that. Just do the math. It's simple. It's very, very simple. Hey, mixers.
I just needed that squared off in my head because you get these conflicting, thoughts when you watch other people's videos, and that kind of puts you out of the norm of things.
But I'll even say in my video, if I'm full of shit, tell me. But as far as I knew when I went to engineering school, conservation of energy, side A has to equal side B if it's divided, and you got a check valve in between, and you can pull all day long. Once they reach the same, it's called equilibrium. That's it. You're done. But that's why you
don't go throwing away your compression.
Well, no, the thing is, the thing is, in a lot of those compression testers, the Schrader valves are a little bit different. People, I'll buy one for my tire valve. It's a little bit different. A lot of times there's a lighter spring on it, a little bit lighter, So, because a lot of times, people with tire valves, it just acts differently. So, but I'm thinking I do have a 10 millimeter adapter to go into those like 4 mixes and stuff. They use a 10 millimeter spark plug, but it doesn't have a Schrader valve in it. So when I test the compression in a 4 mix, I'm getting a lot less because it's using the volume in that adapter, adding it to the combustion chamber. So you're getting less of a read. It does make sense. It totally makes sense. You're increasing the volume of the combustion chamber. You're getting a lower reading. So,
I could comprehend that.
Yeah, that's all. And like I said, nothing against anyone else's videos, but I'm going to tell it like I learned it, and if I'm full of beans, tell me. But other than that, that's what it is. But anyway, everyone's saying hello, Mixter, Mr. Clem. Let me throw the link out again. Hold on. Oh, there's someone in the basement. Hold on. Who's in the basement? Oh, Wayne's here. Hey, Wayne.
Wayne,
how you doing, boys?
I give you a little shout out in my last video about the alkylate fuel. Kinetics, you say, right? That's what you use?
Kinetics. What a job getting into Restream today.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. It was weird. Like first time it came up and it was showing wrenches and everything. It's not showing me any chat today. Completely.
Oh, no. The wrenches, that's you were on the display, I think, or something.
I don't know. I clicked on your email and then it threw me over and it showed. So I clicked on that site. It came up. Then all of a sudden, now I'm into now I off to the side here. I got something for the chat that I was reading while I was waiting for you. I didn't even know if you're still going, but I says, well, I'm in the basement, so the live must still be on. What time did you start today?
No, about 10 minutes ago, not even.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, Rick, the reason I stated this, with and without a Schrader, you have to have a Schrader. Okay. Most of the time, the Schrader on the cheap ones is up by the gauge. Okay. So as I said to Hank, you want the Schrader to simulate as close to the combustion chamber as you can. And on most small engine compression gauge or most good compression gauges, the Schrader's at the very tip that gets screwed into the spark plug hole. So you're not adding volume to the combustion chamber. When you add volume, you lower compression. But my whole theory was too, you could have a Schrader valve here. Best reading, most accurate reading, Schrader valve in the combustion chamber where the spark plug is. Okay. But after that Schrader valve, I don't care if you have 100 feet of hose or an inch of hose. Okay. You're going to pull until you reach equilibrium. If you have 1 inch of hose, you're going to pull it twice. You have 100 inch of hose, you're going to be there all day. Okay. So all I'm saying is you have to reach equilibrium. That's why when you have a longer hose, okay, even though the Schrader valve's in the chamber, you notice the gauge going. Yeah, it may take you 100 pulls. That's why people use drills and rev the shit out of it to get a good one. So that's all I'm saying. All right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how come I can't see a chat today?
Hold on. You can't see it? Yeah, but how do you normally see it though, Wayne? In YouTube?
Normally it's on the right-hand side, but right now it's like a different link to I don't know.
What's showing on the right-hand side of your
showing
screen?
me a picture of a guy with a white dog on his chest.
What?
Yeah.
That's Wayne, I think.
This is Wayne.
You know what I do? I don't go onto the place to click on when he sends it in the.
You could go on my YouTube channel and do it that way.
Yeah, I go on a YouTube channel and click it on there, and then
That's what I did. I ended up going on Ken's live. You guys popped up. Then I scrolled up on the.
But can't you hit pop-out chat on the YouTube and just put the
yeah,
volume
but
down?
I closed that out. Otherwise,
you just put the volume down on the YouTube in the YouTube screen.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways,
we'll have the YouTube pop-out chat. Yeah.
To heck with the chat. I don't need to see what they're saying. You guys will tell me.
Yeah.
That a boy.
December was slow. And I'll tell you what, you know what we got to get into? Fixing sump pumps around here.
Because I tell you, we've had torrential rain. We've had torrential rain the past few days.
Crazy. Last night was
55 degrees. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
It's more tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but when's the temperature going to shift?
Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
Starting to get cold
again. Yeah. Oh, the guy up the street from me finally got his leaves taken care of.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was a leaf truck there all day today.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, the thing was, I even had leaves in my driveway today, oak leaves. I don't have any oak trees. They're from the guy up the freaking street. He's had his leaves there since November 9th. They came November 8th, a Friday. He decides to do his leaves on November 9th and figures, town's going to come back. They don't come back. If you call it the town, they will have the garbage men pick them up, but you have to bag them. They only come to your house with the truck once. Afterwards, you bag. And he had his whole front yard. 5 feet tall, 8 feet wide, 50 feet long leaves. He wasn't going to bag that. And it had ice and it, snow and it, rain and it. Who knows? That's why it took him all day to rake it out of his grass and all that stuff. So, but I'm sure he paid a pretty penny.
I bet.
So anyway, but now I won't get more leaves in my driveway, thank God. So if I was his neighbor, I'd be pissed though. His neighbor right next door, tons of leaves all in his yard from all the wind and everything. I'd be pissed,
Oh yeah.
But anyway, there's the link. Hold on. Where's the link? There's the link. Oh, what else we got? Who else is here? Oh shoot. Yeah, my chat's kind of screwing up. Hold on. That's weird. Wow. Holy cow. Wait a minute. I missed a whole mess of the chat. What the hell's going on? All right. So we got this one. I'm scrolling down. The way Restream does the chat, I like the YouTube chat better, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan changed his logo. Okay. Yeah, I still don't know background screens and all that. I'm not really up to date yet, but let's see.
Who was that just said they changed their logo?
Oh, that's Dan Solo. Dan Solo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got what do you call it? Leaf. Canadian leaf.
Well, that's nice.
Well, you're going to have to put American flag next to that after.
Well, yeah, normally us Canadian YouTubers have got 75 to 80% US viewers.
Yeah.
Boom. So what are you doing for New Year's? Any fights going on? There must be a fight.
Nothing.
Really?
Nothing No, UFC shuts down until the new year. I think January 7th is the first UFC fight.
Huh. Casey,
I don't think there's any PFL or Bellator or
really
one championship. I'll have to check.
That's strange. No snow in Iowa for Casey. Usually he's getting a lot of snow. It's been weird though. Like I said, we've had 20s and 30s and all of a sudden 50s and 60s. It's a crazy month. But we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, but today, like I said, the guy called me up and I texted him Friday. He was supposed to come pick up this Honda. Okay. It was cold, but I said, okay, no big deal. I said, I'll put the Aspen in that way. You don't have to worry about it. So today's Monday. So I text him question mark, like, WTF, And he calls me, he goes, you done with the mower? I'm like, well, it's been done since I told you Friday it was done. He's like, well, I'm working. Can I come pick it up? Yeah. Oh, was it raining now? I go, it's bright and sunny and 55 degrees. Oh, I'm like, where are you? Right? What planet are you on? So anyway, never came. Yeah, never came.
No, he'll be there in a week.
No. He'll be there in about 2 hours when it's 20 degrees out at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he does. He'll come to my front. He'll come to my street, not text me and say, "Hey, you home?" I'll stop. He'll come to my street, park in front of my yard, text me, "Hey, you home?"
Yeah.
What am I gonna say? I'm in my jammies. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then half the time, well, can I pay you when I see you at work? And I'm like, anyway, what are you gonna do? But like I said, I replaced the seal in the Honda. I never had replaced a top seal in a GCV. Very simple. Came right out, and I put a little assembly lube on it, popped it right in. And but this thing was covered. I'd never seen this before. Honda GCV, even the underneath the gas tank, had an 1/8 of an inch. You know when oil mixes with dirt and it just forms like that muck?
Yeah.
It had an 1/8 of an inch coating all under the gas tank, all over the top of the engine, and all the way out on the sides of the engine. So I pressure washed. It took me about an hour. I mean, I really did a nice job. So the thing looks mint, looks totally mint. But what I found was, and if you talk to Jake, get that part number for that governor seal again. I'm not gonna put it in this one, but it is leaking a little bit out that governor shaft. Remember Jake put the seal in one?
Yeah.
It must be common. I think they have the recess in the block, but they don't install them from the factory or something.
Yeah.
On some of them, they don't have it in.
Yeah. So this one here, it's weeping a little bit, but not. I mean, who knows how old? But it was the first time I had ever had a Craftsman Husqvarna mower with the blade clutch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just the blade on the mower. This one was cool because the bale only controlled the clutch. So to start it, you put it into choke. It would start. You put it back to full. Done. And I didn't realize that. Excuse me. Honda on the GCV 160, the recommended RPM to run it is 3,100 plus or minus 150. When we talk brakes and Tecumseh and all that, usually 3,600 is the max, that we set stuff for no load. But the Honda, it sounded low to me, you know what I mean? And then when I put the blade on, it dropped another maybe 100 RPM. And I'm like, damn, that doesn't sound, because I'm used to mowers, 35, 3,600 really cranking. And it was whisper quiet too. I was like, wow. But no, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And it had a throttle for the rear wheels with an adjustment knob underneath. It was like a red handle on the right in the middle there, but there was an adjustment knob on the bottom that you could turn for like sensitivity of the handle. It was almost like a bicycle brake handle, the red thing that comes out. And but because what happened was I hit that, the damn thing was like, holy shit, it took off like a dragster. I said, oh shit. And normally you're adjusting the stroke of the cable, so you're not tensioning the gearbox as much. That's all you're doing is pulling up on the gearbox. But this thing was like pulling hole shots. I was like, whoa. But
that's why I like my snapper with the friction wheel drive, because I can adjust.
They will pull wheelies. My snapper rear engine always.
Yeah, but I can adjust my speed with the speed control just by adjusting the speed control lever on this one.
Well, you should have your lever that goes left to right, or what?
There's the one that goes the left to right.
You have the in and out one with the big knob on it for engagement usually, and then you have like a left to right.
Yeah, there's a handle on the right hand side actually that engages the drive.
Yeah, like a little, like a 90-degree, like a sector. Here.
And then the other one's on the left, and as you adjust that, if you're more towards the middle, you'll just be creeping along.
Yeah,
good for old people that don't move too fast.
So Ken, what do you think made that oil seal on the top seal actually crack or go?
I think he had too much oil in it, to be honest.
Okay.
Because even when I did it, and he had a synthetic, it was like a green color oil. I don't know who makes like a green tinted oil. It may have been an AMSOIL product or something like that. But even after I cleaned it up and I checked the oil level, it was still, because people are screwing them in. You're not supposed to screw in the dipsticks. When you screw them
this
in,
blew the top seal.
Yeah.
I've never seen a top seal blown.
That's why I questioned.
It didn't look blown, but there was oil all over. It's the only place it could have come from. And I didn't realize too, when you take off that top seal, there's like 5 or 6 ports, like these holes in there that vent to the crankcase or whatever. But this thing, like I said, it was definitely doing it for years and years. I guarantee you, it's a 2007 mower. So, 17 years old, 18 years old, it's probably been doing it since new, you know? Yeah. But like I said, it came out easy. I tell you, and the video you'll see, start first pull. That I love that alkylate. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
People ought to start using that stuff, I'll tell you.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, even my dealer gets $10 a quart. How much are you really using? For the most part, how much are you really using? For me, I mean, it'll be less time they come and see us, but at least come springtime, they won't be calling up, the thing you fixed won't start. And Wayne, what did you say? 2 years or something? What were you talking about?
Yeah, it's if you once you open it, well, it'll actually start. They I don't know. They don't give you a guarantee. Yeah. Jake and I give our customers a guarantee 2 years, but it'll actually start after 2.5.
Yep.
We've had a snowblower that fired up after 2.5.
Yeah. You don't have to use constantly the alkylate fuel.
No.
If you got a lot of lawn to do, you can run regular gas. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
You're going to be putting it away, let it run dry, and then add the alkylate in there.
Correct.
Runs through.
Yeah. But the only thing I find though, sometimes though, if it's regular fuel in there and you let it run dry, sometimes that needle will stick. You'll get a little bit of residue in there, and it may dry and harden in there and stick the needle.
Well, I'm not saying once you run it dry, leave it dry. I'm saying once you run it dry, add the alkylate in there.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And that's what I did today. I ran it dry, drained it out, cleaned the tank.
Yeah, I just let it, get in there a little bit,
Yeah.
10 years we've been selling either the Aspen until Briggs and Stratton quit selling it and went to their own Kinetics brand. We've been using that. And in 10 years, we've only had one machine come back that the guy said it wouldn't start. And when I questioned him, he said he didn't completely run it out of the fuel. What he did is he was running it, and then he just took the can and he poured half of the can into the gas tank, but he still had the old fuel in there.
Oh, okay.
Then naturally now the old fuel is still in the carburetor and a bunch of it is still in the bottom of the gas tank. Because I don't even, that's an interesting question, how alkylate would mix with regular fuel. I'll have to mix two to see if there's any separation or anything.
Yeah.
But
I'm
anyways,
wondering, my problem that I have, Wayne, is our fuel still has the ethanol in it. That's why I didn't want to have any traces of it. I wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah. And the best way to get rid of it is when you run it dry, you put the alkylate in, you run it through for 3 to 5 minutes. That guarantees that bowl's now filled with the alkylate fuel.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
And you also got to make sure that you get all the fuel out of the gas tanks. I've seen a lot of gas tanks that still, like what I do is take one of those blue shop towels on the, what do you call them? Clips, stats. What is it? Like Bruce says, stat.
Hemostat. The hemostats.
Yeah, and I put it inside and I soak up any of the old gas that's in there.
Well, you know what's even better though? And Condon turned me on to it. I haven't used it in a long time. Those screw catchers with the 4 wires on the end that you grab screws with. Put a paper towel into that because it's a lot more flexible.
Yeah, right.
You can get all the way. And Condon uses that when he does his fuel tanks. Yeah.
But this snowblower that the guy couldn't get started, when I had to clean the carb, and it had ethanol in it, and it had plugged up the jet. But now I got to dump his gas, which is a half a can of alkylate plus whatever else he had in it. That just stops, and then we put our fuel in with the BGSC2 and said you're good for this winter if it doesn't snow. But as soon as March or April hits, run it dry and put half a can of that alkylate in it and fire it up, and you'll be fine the next year.
Yeah, my problem is if I use the ethanol fuel and it stays over the winter, it gels up. It will by the time spring comes.
But you gotta know that if you're using 87 with 10 and you're using 91 that's got 5 in it, you got less gel or less
Yeah, but
possibility of gel.
all of ours is between 8 and 10%. We don't have any 5.
Yeah, our 91's still 5, but now I think 2024 they're going to 11. 2025 they're going to 15 here in Ontario.
That's crazy. You're gonna, oh my god. Well, a lot of business, you know.
Yeah, it's going to have 15% ethanol in it in 2025.
That's going to screw up the cars, though. All the fuel injection lines and everything.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Plus, Pierre, our prime minister, he wants to limit the production of natural gas and oil here in our provinces that actually live off of the what do they get? They get royalties from the oil companies, like Alberta. Like Bruce, he doesn't. There's not a lot of the taxes that he doesn't pay is because of the royalties that Alberta gets.
Well, what's he talking? He's got, they call it a co-op or something where he gets his fuel.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, yeah, I'm surprised.
Well, what is that? What's the co-op?
Well, a co-op is like, it's kind of like a credit union. You've got credit unions over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Basically, a co-op and a credit union were basically formed for the consumer group, like a group of people where they want to cooperate together to start something.
Yeah.
Delaware's like that. It's a co-op.
Yeah. No, I've heard the term, but I didn't know if it was like in conjunction with like farmers or the petroleum companies, or if they buy in bulk or something, or what they do.
Well, something like the Bank of Dave.
Yeah, primarily own the distribution areas.
Yeah. What's this, Wayne?
It doesn't cost them to like to deliver it and all that because they own it.
Deal. Well, Wayne's not a dealer, but I'm saying my dealer, I can't tell you exactly, but normally they're only making like 10%. They're not really. I wouldn't. Erica may be able to chime in, Lana. She's a dealer, but the margin is not that high.
No. I know that if we, like Jake and I, have the ability to buy mass ports from Briggs and Stratton from our power source distributor, but the more you buy, the cheaper you get them, and then there's shipping costs on top. So you're not making a lot of money. There's not a lot of markup on them.
Yeah. I mean, to me, 15% would be kind of high. I mean, usually 10% is like the magic number I've heard on most stuff that they buy. But the thing is, good.
I think Erica would work on the same way, like Bud's here in Port Colborne. They sell the Cub Cadets. Yep. And, the one year we weren't getting any snow. And I asked him, what are you going to do with all these machines? And he said, they're going to likely end up shipping them out to Quebec. He says he really doesn't pay Cub Cadet for any of the equipment until it's sold. I think it's kind of like on consignment.
Yeah, my dealer, I think he said one time, either it was him or another dealer, they had so many left over with COVID, right? And we had no snow that they actually had so much snow, like in Wisconsin, Minnesota,
right?
That they offered at no cost. So he wasn't making any money off of it to divert that shipment to them.
Yes.
Because they could get rid of it with no penalties or anything like that. Yeah. Just like car dealers, you go from one dealer to another and that kind of thing.
And I always wondered, like where he mentioned Picks in Fawn Hill, they're a Toro dealer. Mm-hmm. And I always wondered, like, what effect Toro had on that dealership by opening up sales in the big box stores.
Yeah.
Because now anybody can go to Toro. Now, I'm thinking it's the same as the John Deeres. When you buy a John Deere at a big box store, it's not the same as what you're getting at the dealership.
And no service.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And one guy just brought me his 2-year-old Cub Cadet. He bought it in the big box store, and he never realized. I told him, I said, you should have bought it off of Bud's, because if you had a warranty issue, he's going to take care of you because you bought it there. You're going to move up the line. But when you buy it at a big box store and they say, you got to take it to Bud's, he's the warranty dealer, Jimmy's going to say, well, you didn't buy it here and I'm 2 months behind. So you got it. And the guy's going to say, well, that'll be spring. And Jimmy will say, well, you should have bought one here. I would have had it done for you in a couple of days.
The big box stores here, there's a guy that puts his sticker on there.
Yeah, that they'll usually have, like they asked me one time, I had a friend of mine worked in the rental area. where they would go to ask if they service like the power equipment. The only thing they would do in that area of the Home Depot by me, they would work on like some chainsaws and things like that. But most of the time, they would send them back to the factory and they'd come back reconditioned. And then you'd see they'd use like a soldering iron and put like used on it or a number on it, that way you knew it was reconditioned, and they'd sell it for like 40% of new or something like that. But as far as that goes, they asked me one time, do you have any stickers? Do you want to put them on equipment? I go, no. They go, what do you mean? I go, people are buying them here because they're looking to save money because they're cheap in most cases. So I don't want all these cheap people calling me up. Oh, and half of them, Wayne, they're going to, it should be under warranty. I'm not a dealer.
Yeah.
And how many of them filled out the warranty card? You think the cashier at Home Depot is going to say, hey, before you leave, why don't you fill out the warranty card? Come on. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, very few of them. Like if you go to the dealership, I think they like do the warranty.
Even Erica, they will not let a thing leave until it's filled out.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. Anybody like the guy that brought this Cub Cadet, I said, has it ever had an oil change? He said, no. I said, didn't you read the manual? He said, no. I said, you're not the only one. I says, nobody reads them.
How many people buy the snow thrower with the bag that's got the 19 ounces of oil in the bag with the instructions and start the engine, blow it up?
Yeah.
Now they put the big tags on it, no oil.
Yeah.
And they still don't read them, So, Jay, to answer your question, John, no. Because today she went to, I believe, the city hall in the town she lives in, a city she lives in, to find out why there was $4.83 or whatever outstanding balance or some BS. It had to do with her bank. I'm not going to get into it, but she's handling it. She'll probably get the damn car, by the end of the week. We'll see what happens. But at this point, it ended up being something that she knew about but didn't remember or something. So I'm letting her deal with it. So let her deal with it. That's okay. Because she got in an accident, she has a rental for 30 days, so she's not out. She still has transportation, so she's all right. Yeah, warranty claims. I love it. People will call me up sometimes and say, I bought it at Lowe's, Cub Cadet. Bought it at Lowe's 6 months ago. I went there. They don't want to know anything. I go, did you fill out the warranty card? No. And they go, what warranty card? I said, bring me whatever you have documentation. He brings me the packet, and in the packet is the manual, the warranty card, all that stuff. I said, call the 800 number. Okay. You have your receipt, and it was credit card. He goes, yeah, I got the receipt. Send that to them. Say, look, I want to register it now, even though it's 6 months. Sometimes, depending on who you talk to, they'll help you out. Okay. But the thing is, like we were saying on here, you go to a dealer that you didn't buy it from, you're at the back of the line. They don't give a shit. You know what I mean? You're at the back of the line. If you need something right away, that's when they'll come to someone like me. But it's like, guys, I can't do it for free. And even warranty work, honestly, people hate warranty work because most of the time they pay you, 20 cents on the dollar of what you're really making an hour. So you're doing a warranty job, putting an engine in something, and it's going to cost you, say, 4 hours at $100 an hour. The warranty company is going to give you $80, so that's why people don't like doing warranty work, so.
Yeah, at MTD, when like Jake got approved to do a couple of jobs under warranty because the customer had argued with the company that to get it warranted was going to be over a month for them to get their equipment. They were both, in this case, they were lawnmowers, and they couldn't wait a month. Couldn't you let this company do it for me? They do good work. And MTD, because we've got a account to buy parts off them, they called us and they said, we're going to approve you to do this warranty work. Yep. So they sent the parts to us. We fixed the guy's equipment. But the problem with that was we get credit. We don't get a check. So we got credit for X number of dollars. Next order, we're already credited with that amount of money in an account for doing that work.
See you, Jen. Yeah.
Hey, Ken, tell me something. You put a picture of Tom coming out of a hospital with a robe on. What was that all about?
He, what the hell was it? Something with his blood. He had some abnormality or something. He didn't know what was going on. So I didn't hear what actually went on. I'm still waiting to hear from him. Okay. So I don't know if he's watching, but they were trying to figure out why he was feeling the way he was feeling, and
The same with what's it, Brandon? He was
well, I guess his pressure was high.
Yeah.
He went in for like high blood pressure. I got to go on Friday again for my blood work and all that crap like I do.
Well, you can get sick from jumping into a lake or something that's got bacteria in it and going up into your sinus tract and then entering your bloodstream through the sinus tract. And all you did was dive into a lake or something. But if there was bacteria present, it gets into your sinuses, and that's it. You're sicker than a dog.
Well, like swimmer's ear, right? When people go swimming like that.
Any mucous membrane. Yeah. It'll travel right through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Tom was swimming in an alligator pond or something.
Yeah, he's going to have baby alligators.
Yeah. But what else? I'm trying to think.
Where's all these people sleeping still, or what?
Well, because it's 5 hours difference in UK and Klaus. It's what 11 o'clock now. What 5:30? It's 11:25.
Klaus is still recovering from his drinking the other day. I got to send him. I got to find a sponsor in Denmark for him.
Yeah, so based on. Yeah, but would dealers ever do that if there's absolutely no snow one year? They're not going to extend the warranty just because of the weather.
No, they won't.
I mean, would it be incentive? Yeah, I mean the dealer could do whatever he wants, but the thing is, if the dealer's trying to get payback from the company, the OEM, and they see the warranty started 3 years ago, they're not going to pay him.
Now, the only way that they'll cover some kind of warranty work if there was a manufacturing defect that it got put on recall, because Jake did get, remember those plastic rim tires they had on some of the small single stage snow blowers?
Oh, Aaron's had a problem with those.
Yeah, and they were blowing up. The people actually got seriously injured when the plastic rim exploded when they were pressurizing tires.
Yeah, MTD, right? Was that MTD?
I think it was MTD, yes. Yeah. And Jake actually filed for 2 customers and got free replacement tires and rims.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they shipped them to us, and we put them on for him.
Yeah, I remember Aaron's a couple of years had those plastic rims on their 5 horsepower models. Changing those, what a nightmare. Oh,
yeah.
The only good thing is they wouldn't rust on the inside because they're plastic, but it's such hard plastic. Trying to get the bead over it, oh my God, what a nightmare.
So on a recall, it basically lasts forever if you've never had it repaired, because you might not have been notified that there was a recall.
Yeah.
They
will honor it years in the future?
Yeah. Like
because it's example recall? Because it's safety?
Yeah, safety recalls. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like example would be Lori's Ford Explorer. Yeah. Supposedly the seal in the back of the gas tank that's on the top underneath the back seat was leaking. And I don't know, we didn't get the notification, but I think Jake found something online, contacted Ford, and sure enough, Ford said, yeah, that's a recall item, bring it in and we'll take care of it under the recall.
Wow.
I lost 2 engines on Ford Explorer because they knew that the oil tubing was too small.
Oh, really?
That was bringing oil back up to the top of the head. And so 2 engines I went through. Yeah.
Wow.
Now here's one. The lady across the street from us, the squirrels got in there and chewed up all of her lines.
Yeah.
In the car, and Jake was saying that's because those lines are making like a food grade or something.
Soy.
Got something in them that attracts the squirrels to chew on them and eat them up.
Yep.
Now you would think that something like that should be covered under a warranty. Like they shouldn't be making them so that animals are going to want to crawl in there and eat them.
Yep. That happened to me, and they chewed them up. And I told the guy that fixed it, I said, "Did you put a covering or something on there?" No. Why not?
Well, Honda sells the rodent tape that you can wrap your wires and your tubes with. That
tar on there or something. Yeah.
No, it's actually a tape that they sell. It's called rodent tape. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember Firestone with the Ford Expeditions. They would blow out. I remember those. My buddy's got a whole attic full of those tires, takeoff tires. He goes, I don't care. I was like, okay, but they blew up on them. They would literally blow up. Those are on the Ford Expeditions. Oh man, So you said you're slow, Wayne, or what?
Yeah, just I'm gonna service the compressor. I think maybe today or tomorrow. It's time for a service on that oil change, and I'm likely going to clean, even though that pressure washer's been here 6.5 years, and there's no carbon or no jelly in the carb bowl after 6.5 years. I think I'm going to clean the carb because it's sitting there. All I got to do is unhook the linkage in the spring and pull it off and take it apart and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Why waste my time not doing it? Because next year, if I got issues, I'm going to say, I had it off. I should have cleaned it.
Yeah.
Because the bowl does have some varnishing in it. You know what I'm saying by the varnish?
Yep.
You could feel like, and what I'll likely do, I'm going to pull it off and maybe do a video on it. I'll likely take a Q-tip with some carbon or some choke cleaner and just rub it to see that it's come off, and then say, yeah, I'm likely going to ultrasonic clean the whole thing. But it fired right up still with 6-month-old fuel in it.
So Dave's sniffing glue, huh?
What was that, from Airplane, right?
Yeah.
Lloyd Bridges? Yeah.
How you doing, Dave?
34 in the house. Yeah, I was a little bored. Wife's I think she's making ham for dinner. So I figured I'd come on. I'm learning the Restream. I'm definitely learning. Who's in the private chat? Let's see. Oh, that's you. Okay. I didn't even read the private chat. That was Wayne.
That was me.
Yeah. But people that are watching out there, are you watching me on YouTube? I'm assuming you're watching because you got a YouTube notice. Yeah,
well,
but
actually, Doug at North Star texted me on the phone, said Ken's live. So I said thank you, because I was in there watching a movie. He said Ken's live. Phone chimed. I looked. I said, oh, I'll go in and see Kenny, and Hank will be there for sure.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter. I think Jimmy Carter did more after he was president than while, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a peanut farm, right?
Well, my personal opinion, he screwed up foreign relations, but that's my own personal opinion.
Kenny, you building that shed in the back yet, or what?
Not yet. I got to get a friend of mine to come in to put the pad in with the gravel and everything.
Okay.
I had to lend my daughter some money for her car, so it tapped into that, which is okay. I mean, it's my daughter.
Yeah.
So it just may delay it a couple of months. No big deal.
4 minutes. I got to go for supper. I've been told by the boss.
What's for dinner? Anything good?
Pork tenderloin with roasted carrots, onions, potatoes, and caramelized carrots.
Ooh, fruitcake.
I'll be right there.
Yeah, my mom made. She makes a pork loin that she chops up and makes like a chow mein.
Our fruitcake we get from the Shriners.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, Shriners they sell fruitcakes during the Christmas season. Excellent fruitcake. And then Lori will get a cheesecloth and wrap a few, and we'll pour brandy over it or
rum,
whatever, cognac, whatever you want. I pour it over it, let it soak in.
Yeah,
I like fruitcake, especially with a nice cup of coffee. I fruitcake.
I saw that John Deere on your lift there, Boneyard.
Oh, the 400. He's still working on it.
Yeah.
Another video, Boneyard? I didn't see. I remember we talked about it. Yeah. Look at that. Mr. Gary got his Michael Anthony Van Halen amplifier.
He did, huh? Nice.
Cool. No, people don't make fruitcakes. It's the ones from 100 years that they're unearthing right now. You can still eat them.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like the only food that. What's the oldest fruitcake? Like 20,000 years old or something? Like, no, it was like Egypt. I think it was like Egypt or something. They found a fruitcake and a freaking guy ate it on YouTube. Look up world's oldest fruitcake on YouTube. A guy actually he said it was okay from like 1,000 years ago or something, and it was a fruitcake. And there's a lot of them in England, because remember, England, you go back 1500s, whatever, to them, that's us. That's like us saying 1800s, but there's fruitcakes that you could buy in England that are 100 years old. Yeah. Things like that. It
always amazed me. My dad told me during World War II, he was eating bully beef from World War I.
I believe it. the K rations.
So it makes me think: does the Canadian government still have warehouses full of canned foods or foods that are from World War II?
I'm sure. Yeah. There's a lot of ads always come on, this YouTube and buy these packs of food, for survival. Well, what are you thinking is going to happen?
Yeah. But Carter, talking about Carter, he was the biggest proponent of Habitat for Humanity, like the building the houses for people. And I tell you, he did wonderful with that. I would actually follow him doing some of these house. And at 90 something years old, he's still hammering the damn nails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. No, he was. I just think, like you said, Hank or Gary said, I think afterwards was more of his legacy than when he was president. So that's all. So it's amazing though how like Michael and people like in foreign countries are treating him like like that, where we had to deal with it.
Well, he gave away the Panama Canal, didn't he?
Yeah. Like I said, foreign policy, he wasn't a guy. The only thing I think good with foreign. Remember Sadat when he had the talks with Anwar Sadat and those guys? He did that stuff, but other than that, he got them together to talk. But anyway, enough of politics. MREs. I have a couple MREs at work. My buddy gave them to me. Oh God. Well, actually, I hired someone at work about 2 or 3 years ago, who's ex-military, and he actually brought 1 or 2 in. My buddy, used to be my best friend Ronnie, was in the reserve, and he used to go to Fort Drum every year and stuff. And he would bring me like beef stroganoff and chili, good MREs. There were a couple that were crappy. Oh, who's in the basement? Hold on.
Gary.
Let's see. Gary.
Yeah, guys, I got to hit it. Supper's on. I don't want to miss it. Gary.
Hey, Scotty there, Mr. Brick. What's going on, Scott?
I'm only going to stay on for a few minutes because then I got to go help the wife make that fruitcake and start up supper as well.
I didn't think people made fruitcake. I thought just
you got to ship something to Hanky Kenny.
Yeah, I mean she's making it with fresh fruit. So
that's
what do we got there?
It doesn't taste like crap, she says.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Hold on, Scott. I had to mirror the camera.
Scotty, that's Scotty. Yeah.
Old Santee. Oh, eggnog. Oh, cool. Were you in Florida, Scott?
Yep.
Yeah. What's the weather like down there?
84.
No, what are you?
84 and probably 80% humidity as well.
Yeah.
Where are you, Scotty? West or east?
Fort Myers.
Mine. Okay. Nice. You keeping busy, Gary, or what?
Right now, I got all my machines done. Probably getting a push mower on Friday, which is kind of odd this time of year, but I'm going to get one. And then I got a couple snow blowers and doing some amplifier repair. Actually, had a small engine customer contact me today. He does a lot of DJing, and he's bringing in an amplifier because I guess when he lent it out to his brother, he crossed the wires and shorted something out. So I'm gonna have to.
I saw that. Yeah, the last video I just watched of yours. But I was talk about the charger, about the Milwaukee charger, about the cells and how over time, if they dwindle slightly, it thinks it's charged, so it won't charge it. Yet there's not enough power to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, lithium-ion batteries don't have they used to call it battery memory when you had the nickel cadmium or nickel hydroxide batteries, because eventually the internals of the battery would start to crystallize, and the acid couldn't move. The electrons couldn't move, meaning it may show like a full voltage to the terminals, but it wouldn't take a charge. That's what happens to car batteries. They start to sulfate inside, and then they lose the amperage or the cold cranking amps. And that's why batteries need to be replaced.
Yeah. They're telling me that a lithium-ion charger, lithium-ion cells with a lithium-ion charger can never overcharge.
Correct. They have thermistors inside.
Is that what it is? Okay. So I guess
there's a thermistor inside. Make sure that if they start to overcharge or get over a certain temperature, they do this also for lithium polymer batteries as well. So that they even have them in the Tesla batteries because it's all little tiny cells, in series together. But that's how they monitor it'll actually break the circuit if it gets too hot.
Yeah, because the battery I've been looking for 2-3 years. It was in a bag with the sander I bought for it. A 9 amp hour Milwaukee. That's a $50 battery. It's not a cheap battery.
That's not cheap.
But when you put the voltage on it, it's only showing like 16.7 volts or something.
Too low.
It won't power anything. But when you put it on the charger, it says green light, like it's charged. So I saw the video on YouTube. I took my voltmeter, and it's supposed to be like 4.2 volts in each arrangement.
Each cell. Yep.
I've got one like 2.9, 3.8, 4.1, 3 point something. So he said, but you need a smart lithium-ion charger so it won't overcharge. But let me ask you a question, though, while you're here. I saw another guy put a regulated DC power supply to charge it, but he dialed in the voltage. Is that safe?
It's safe if you're watching it. It's the same it's the same kind of principle for a deep cycle battery, for example. Each cell
so if you're watching the meter, once you see it hit, say 4.2, shut it off and you're good?
Pretty much, because what you're doing is that you're running the current through all the cells. And if the one cell is lower because that cell, for whatever reason has discharged more, there could be an internal short, which is the biggest risk, because then you get into thermal runaway, and these things can get rid of their stored energy like that. Lithium polymer batteries being the most dangerous. So that's why you have to there's tricks around it, but you got to be careful.
And I called up Hank because Hank has that same Milwaukee Rapid charger that I do, where it's got the 12-volt triangular recess on the left and the M18 on the right. But when we hit with the voltmeter, the two left-hand tabs for the M18, it's only showing, 12.6 volts.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, it's because it charges the 12-volt battery as well. And once you plug in the M18, it senses the board and knows to up it to 18 or 20 or whatever.
Right. It's also temperature dependent too. Like usually when the temperature is higher, it'll start to bring the current down, or it'll bring the voltage down. Again, that's for lithium-ion batteries, but for lead-acid batteries, so like a car battery, lead calcium.
But the other kind, this is even better.
What's that?
No, he's trying to assist.
Lithium ion's got a different charging rate than, say, a flooded lead acid battery, or that's lead antimony metal or lead calcium. Lead calcium is usually deep cycle, but usually lead antimony is the most common for car batteries. And you can actually what is called an equalization charge to basically overcharge.
I need to balance my cells.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, here's my question, though. I was going to buy this smart lithium-ion charger, but I have a nice 12-volt digital power supply that I bought for testing 12-volt circuitry. Can I dial it in to say 4.2 and just keep an eye on it? And will that be safe to do, or should I buy a lithium-ion charger?
Well, if it's easy, it's easier to have a lithium-ion charger. But if you wanted, you can do it with a regulated DC power supply that's current limited.
I'll send you the specs on my, because I never used it yet. It's still in the box. It's like 50.
Yeah, it's doable, Ken. But if you're not going to babysit it, I've seen it happen. I've seen these things start to go in thermal runaway. Not fun.
No,
not fun. Never do that in the house.
Leak first? Won't they start to leak first?
Nope.
Oh, really?
No, they will. It's a paste that's inside. There's no liquid, and like I said, if you push the current, it's going to take the current as long as it'll go. It'll keep the voltage will keep rising. But if you don't watch it, it will punch a hole in one of the membranes inside that separates the cathode and anode, and it will go into thermal runaway. So you got to be very careful with lithium-ion batteries.
This battery's about 5 years old, Joe.
If it's 5 years old, Ken, don't bother. It's not worth it.
What do you mean?
Because eventually what happens is that the internals break down. And lithium-ion batteries probably only get recycled about 10 to 15% versus a car battery, which 100% of all the materials inside get reused and recycled.
Yeah.
So you have to bring it down to recycle.
I've only used the battery 5 times.
Doesn't matter. If it sits, especially if it sits at a state of charge below 100%, it just causes it actually prematurely wears out the battery.
Yeah, well, I'll try it. And hey,
give it
I have to buy another thing.
Yeah, or I'd like to take that statement back. Less than 100%. Usually, look on your phone. So most phones these days, if you have battery protection, it'll only charge it up to say 80%, right? And that actually makes the battery last longer. So, but you don't want it too low. Usually you see a battery when you get it right out of the box, brand new, is anywhere from 40 to 60%, and you got to charge it up. But you still have quite a bit of capacity there. But like I said, lead acid batteries, flooded lead acid, or AGM batteries, gel batteries, or SLA batteries, sealed lead acid batteries, have to stay at 100% charge because they do self-discharge over time. That's why you put a maintenance charger or a trickle charger on it, or a float charger to keep it from discharging itself. That'll increase the life of those types of batteries, just because you don't want the sulfate crystals to start to develop on the plates, and then after that you're screwed.
That makes sense.
Yep, crystallization. The acid can't move between the plates of the cathode, the positive and negative. Eventually, the acid gets restricted. You get a high voltage, like if it's charged, like what you're dealing with right now. It's a voltaic cell. It'll wind up. You won't get the amperage, the push. Yeah. You'll get the voltage. You won't get the amperage.
You look at the battery. Oh, there's 14 volts in it, but it's not doing it.
Doesn't matter. So I would definitely get the smart charger. Unless you're going to babysit it, and babysitting it like 24/7. These things are no joke. You do not want them to go and see, he's saying dirt there is saying the same thing. It could, yep. They will become a bomb if they are left untended. Believe me.
I just happened to see that. I'll send you the video. I'll text it to you. The one guy using that smart lithium ion charger, and that's what I'll probably do. But the other guy just used a regulated power supply, and I'm like, I didn't think that was safe, But again, he set it for say 4.2 automatic shut off. Okay, but point, I didn't know what the current rate was. What was he actually putting into it?
It'll usually say on the battery if it's a 2C or a 5C. It's a very small amp hour battery, so it can't really go beyond a certain charging current before you really start to have heat problems. Yeah. You can only charge them so quickly. So that's why the fast chargers are probably at the max that they're actually designed.
Yeah, I've had better luck with my Makitas as well. But like I said, only because I have more Makita stuff. That's the thing. I have my half-inch impact Milwaukee, which I swear by.
Oh, I love that thing too.
I use my lug nuts and stuff like that, but I've charged it 3 times in 3 years. Because it holds the charge.
It does. But the battery technology is getting better. I mean, they're lasting longer. But like Dirt said, it's anywhere from 2 to 3 years of regular use. Yeah. You might be able to squeeze 5 years if it's an occasional use. But
I'm gonna try
it's a wearable item. It's just I keep telling my my in-laws Sue's mother has this 82 Mercury. And we just had to get a battery for it. And she doesn't drive, barely drives it at all. If it made it 500 miles a year, it'd be crazy. But the battery is 8 years old, and it still was able to start a big V8 engine. But I said, eventually the battery wears out.
Yep. Don't they look inviting, guys? Nice hot tub with a pool connected to it.
I'd rather have snow. I like snow.
Henry, will you slap that guy next to you?
Yeah, I would.
No, but I mean, it's December 30th, and it's like 55.
Ken, please change your brand of crack, because whatever it is, it ain't very good. I mean, hey, Gary, would you take this or snow?
Oh well, hold on. I'm on my phone, so I can't see.
It's just that we.
Hot tub.
Oh, the hot tub. Okay.
And an in-ground pool. Come on. Now, who wouldn't take that? This is paradise.
There's more bacteria in a hot tub than anywhere else.
Oh, my wife refuses to go anywhere near.
No thanks.
When I moved out,
you guys are just talking about bacteria diving into a river. No thanks.
We had a hot tub in the house that I lived in before I got married. Okay, and when the house got sold, when they drained the hot tub, we threw up. When we saw what was it. Now we chlorinated the shit out of it. Okay, but
here's
the stuff that came out of that hot tub.
Well, you're cooking a vat of,
human
fats and oils and bacteria and mold. I mean, there's molds that can survive in the 120 plus degree water. I mean, it's just no.
It's part of the pool. It's part of the pool. So it drains out every day and refills every day.
No, I'm talking about,
that's the way to do it, but you couldn't get me. No.
Hey,
no
thanks. In about 2 hours, I'm going to have 3 women in there with me that aren't related, and all the eggnog beer I can drink, and all the peanut butter beer I can drink. So you start.
Well, peanut butter beer I've made. I actually named it after my wife's Sue's peanut butter porter we made. I don't think I have any more of it, but it's actually uses. It actually tastes like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Really nice.
Sue said that I have to make some more. I haven't brewed much, but I have to get back to that. That's one of the beers that actually turned out really good. Yeah, I've had that one.
I love peanut butter.
Yeah, there's Sue and I came up with a secret, because when you make a peanut, here's a tidbit for you. When they make the peanut butter beer, peanut butter has oil in it, and the oil is actually where the flavor comes from. It's not from, say, PB2 powder or the actual peanut butter, like peanut. It's actually the oil. But you can't mix oil and water, because then the slick is going to be on top. You need to come up with a process to remove that.
But it's actually, if you're drinking it, what does it coat your tongue, and that's where you get the flavor from?
No, it imparts the flavor. The oil imparts the flavor, but you have to get rid of the oil slick that rises to the top, because once it's imparted the flavor to the beer, which is 99% water, then you want to get rid of that oil slick. So, but Sue and I came up with that little trick it's a home brewing thing. You could probably find it up on the forums, but it came out really good.
Do you
like 6%
peanut butter into it, or like you say, is it a powder? What do you use?
That's the secret. It's kind of I could always I'll have to do it. I have to get back into brewing at some point. But yeah, peanut butter porter was really good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was. There's another one here. Another one I got.
Who's Big Dog?
That's Big Dog's Hank.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's Rich. How you doing, Rich? Oh, well, I better get ready to go here. Oh, just
yeah. Where's the amp? I want to see the amp. There it is. Beautiful.
And here's another one.
Look at that, Michael Anthony. Beautiful. Nice.
That's the one that he used on tour.
Now, are you gonna do a video playing something?
I've done a couple videos on already, but yeah, I do want to set it up and play it. But can't exactly play loud when everyone's home. I mean, I got plenty of big.
How are the dogs with the music? Do they get upset or?
Nope, not at all. I just have to wear earplugs.
What the hell is that? Kegnog?
Was that eggnog beer?
Yes, sir. Yeah. It's 15.5% alcohol.
Wow.
I've had 3 of them today.
I love eggnog as much as the next person, but I don't know about eggnog beer.
Yeah. Oh man, I've had 3 of these today. It's awesome. Hey, and
Mr. Briggs, you should check out these guys.
What is that?
Lobster Hunt. Check those guys out. They're down in Virginia Beach.
Yes, their beer.
Yeah,
good beer.
Christine she's the wife and the runs. That's a husband and wife run. Incredible artist that makes all of their beers, but their beers are actually really good. They make this coffee lager.
Woo. Oh, coffee lager. Oh, that sounds.
Where do they sell it? Here around here? Where can you get it?
Well, you could buy it locally over there, or we've had it shipped up here, but you have to go through the site because Connecticut's a bear when it comes to shipping alcohol and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a couple. Even just buying the cans that have the labels with no beer is just great to display.
Yeah.
That and we're German Shepherd people, so.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Rich, yeah, check out my channel. I have quite a few covers that I've done.
I was watching Beato today, his Beato 2 channel.
Oh yeah,
interviews with Rick Wakeman, really good. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Oh, the keyboard player from Yes.
Yeah, from Yes, yeah. So how he started when he was in high school. How he actually started being a studio musician at 17.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
You can't do that anymore. No. We don't live in a day and age where, the BBC the Beatles BBC sessions would ever happen. It's just it's too much.
Nope.
Was it Texas? Where was it that George Harrison's cousin, I think he lived in Texas or Colorado or somewhere, and he came over in 1963 and was playing with them at a concert. No one knew who the hell he was, and then someone came up to him. He goes, "You're pretty good." He goes, "You want to join our band?" "Nah, I got one over in England." It was the freaking Beatles. Yeah, it was George Harrison. I was like, wow. So
different times back then.
Oh yeah. Yep. A lot of big stars came out of that era.
Yeah. Well, and what's happening now, and the main reason why like Michael Anthony is selling off a lot of stuff. I heard that he's retiring, but but my theory is
is Van Halen? I heard Sammy and one of the other.
No, they're in something. It's a supergroup called the Circle. But they were in Chickenfoot for a long time.
Yeah.
Chickenfoot is when you saw that amplifier, the big red amplifiers on all the stacks. But my theory is that a lot of those legacy acts like Van Halen, yes, all those big bands that you guys love and grew up on, they're all getting close to retirement age.
Oh yeah.
So how many more years of them touring and being able to see them in concert, where the whole concert going industry is going to collapse because no one's going to pay big money for tickets for bands that have come out, say, in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, because they just don't command that kind of price ticket to it.
Yeah.
No.
I like to think that anyway. I'm hoping that, because trying to get first row seats to, like, say, a Chickenfoot concert, it's $500.
Wow.
$500 for first and second row.
That's crazy.
And that was in like Bridgeport.
What's that girl getting? What's her name there?
Oh yeah, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's just nuts. Yeah, but those guys. Yeah, I was gonna say that. That's.
But look at the money she's making.
Well, she's the richest woman in the world right now. Yeah.
She ain't getting my money.
Yeah.
Feel bad for all the people with
an hour and 16. I'm going to end it because I hear dinner's buzzing. I hear
buzzing here. I'm going to get going here too.
All right, everybody, Scotty and Kank and Gary,
Happy New Year, everybody
in the chat. Yeah, Happy New Year. If we don't
Happy New Year, guys.
Until then. Well, all right, we'll see you soon, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you.
Later.